Hello guys, Fridays18 here, and today I'm going to be showing you all the new stuff going on with the mod. This is kind of a smaller devlog than normal ones, but it's bringing some cool stuff to the party. So first we got Namikaze. We can go over that very quickly. It's not too exciting, just pretty cool. So first we have kunai teleportation. It only takes 5 chakra and it has the lowest cooldown in the game. Pretty much by the time you reorient yourself with a new teleport, you are already, out of cooldown. So it's pretty good. That's the kunai blitz. Basically, you shoot it I think, like 7 kunais out, and if they hit somebody, they do a small explosion. Special ceiling. Okay, so what this one will do is if we go into survival, then turn it on, you can see we have these yellow particles, and when we get hit, they turn to blue particles. We're also not taking any damage. The reason is this is a seal, and the way it works is while you're doing it, you don't take any damage, and whatever hits you, you get that amount in chakra back like tenfold, which is pretty good. The general concept for all this stuff is, I mean, kunai blitz is kind of obvious, Namikaze or Minato has his like kunais and stuff. Teleportation, another obvious one. The special ceiling, this is straight from the fact that Minato was able to like seal that giant beast bomb. I was thinking something like that with this one. On to the next one, which is Uzumaki, which is definitely very fair and definitely not ungodly broken. So first we have the Adamite chains. May not seem that crazy. The thing about the Adamite chains is each of them gives you 100 chakra that it hits. It shoots 3 of them, they each give 100 chakra for each person they hit. They also take 100 chakra away from people. Obviously it doesn't go into the negative and it doesn't send you past your amount, but it also has piercing, which means if you have a group of people, you are able to get a decent amount of chakra. I mean, 2 people alone is enough to get 600 chakra. If all 3 of the chains hit. So also steal 300 from each of these people. So it's pretty good. In all the moves have a large amount of chakra, like 120, 200, 200. So they're not small chakra pools. Next we got chakra ceiling. You're not really gonna be able to see this one too much, but basically everyone around you gets this little particle flare real quick, and what it does is it steals 50% of their chakra and just destroys it. So let's say this guy had 200 chakra, now he only has 100. If we get that other 100, it disappears. This is, I was gonna take a set amount away, but that's kind of, it would make Uzumaki not too good against like a higher level foe, because if like you're fighting someone who has like 18,000 chakra, then taking away 300 isn't going to be very much. Taking away half of that, still the exact same impact as taking away from someone who only has 30 chakra. So that's the reason for that. Reaper Death Seal, I did this one a bit interesting. This one, so I've done it a couple different ways before. In the first iteration when I made it, in the first mod, it sent basically the enemy to a shadow realm, and like the player themselves got killed, obviously. Then it was just everyone around you got killed. And then at the end there for the last mod, it removed the person's soul, which I'm still messing around with that concept. I'm still thinking about it, but for right now, what it does is plays these little particle effects, and you can't see it, but it puts everyone within a 10 block radius of you at half a heart, but you're also at half a heart. The reason I did this was because every other iteration I've ever done is either unfair or unusable. For example, killing everything around you, including yourself, doesn't really make sense for most situations. I mean, especially like I do have plans of making a hardcore server and stuff, or not hardcore, but like, Life Matters and stuff server, like a CC thing, and other servers like that and stuff. So it doesn't make sense to have a move that just insta kills, even if it does insta kill other players. The soul stealing thing, I'm still not so against this idea. But it's hard to implement soul stealing without making the game completely unfun for both people until they're able to get their soul back, and so that would just make it unbalanced. And then sending them to a dimension, that was using that version of the mod, you can actually access it right now. You were able to go in limbo, because if you went to the other dimension, died there, and came back, no one could see you, but you were still, and like mods couldn't see you. You were unable to be killed, but you were still able to like hit people and stuff. So safe to say that was on the table. So I think this is a pretty good option, an alternative. Just you know, setting both people's to half health, because then it makes everyone vulnerable. Next, sorry about all the throat clearing. I've been very busy. I got graduation coming up before I go to college, so my throat's been a little bit messed up with all the singing stuff we've had to do. Anyways, tailed beasts are now a thing. The tailed beasts range from the 0-tailed beast to the 10-tailed beast, and eventually I'll add the 11 tails. Which, if you're curious about that, 0 tails is a genetically made one in some filler movie. 1 to 9 are kind of givens, and then the 10 tails is obviously the accumulation of all of them, and then the 11 tails, I'm gonna give that the superpower, or not superpowers, but the jutsu and stuff of the Kaguya 10 tails iteration. Because I don't know, I feel like between Madara, Obito, and Kaguya, Madara and Obito's 10 tails was vastly different from Kaguya's, to the point where it deserves its own spot, in my opinion at least, and there's gonna be a way to do that eventually. So let's start off at 0-tailed. By the way, for all this stuff, the 0-tailed DNA, it takes, I believe, 5 enchanted golden apples from a wandering trader. Gedo statue takes like 1 diamond block, and each tailed beast scroll is 1 enchanted apple and 1 thing of undying, whatever it's called, the totem of undying. That's what it is. The difference between all these, the Gedo statue is used to get to the 10 tails. The 0-tailed, even though it has arguably a lower price, it takes 200 medical rather than 100, and these take 100 to do. But the reason you don't see that right now is because there's a scroll which will give other scrolls, and I'll show that off in a second. Anyways, so you get your DNA from the wandering trader, inject it into yourself. You now have the 0-tailed Jinchuriki. Now, the way the Jinchuriki system works is I'm going to press F to toggle it. Okay, so the one second. I was messing around with this a little bit ago, so it's not going to do the same. But anyways, you try to activate it. The beast rejects call to use their chakra. So what does that actually mean in application? Basically what that means is you have to get really, really close to death, very similar to the Mathiox mod, to actually level up your tailed beast and actually get to a point where you can use it. This is perfect. Not that perfect, actually. I was a bit too low. But anyways, still, I don't have it. But if we go back and find this husk. I think it might be because he has a shovel that is bugging out the system. I don't really know what's wrong with this. 1 second. Let's find a normal husk in. Let's see. Okay. And once we get low enough, alright, I think the 0-tails is just, let's see, I think if I switch my tailed beast real quick, so if we do set, or maybe set beast, no, set beast to, let's just say the 1-tailed Jinchuriki, I believe they should fix the issue. That guy will one-shot basically this guy. Okay. I'm gonna go figure out what the problem is because I was just testing it. Everything was working fine. So I'll be right back with you guys. Okay, guys, I'm back. I figured out what was wrong. It wasn't actually anything with the code. The issue was my timer was still going on, which, if you don't know what I'm talking about, let me show you real quick what's what's going on. So if we go into creative again, I could show you while I'm stupid real quick. So go over here, go into survival again, and we'll go back to using the 0-tailed Jinchuriki, and let's get beat up on. Where's the guy? There he is. Same guy, still shovel. You'll very quickly see what the issue was. Alright, listen. I know I have a bad track record so far. This guy with the shovel does plus half a heart more damage than normal, which is very inconvenient for testing. I'll tell you that much. This guy, on the other hand, he's perfect. is all we have to do is get below 2.5 hearts, and if we're able to do that, which should be after this next attack. Okay, and I messed up. I messed up again. 1 second. Slash set beast level to -1, and we just want to reset our timer. And now if we go into game mode, I promise you don't have to do all this, like you don't actually have to worry about any of this normally. I'm just stupid, so we're gonna let this guy kill us, and yeah, there you go. You can see what's happening. So once again, I will explain everything that just happened and why it wasn't working in a second. But you can see kind of what happens when it does activate. It says, "Hey Brad, don't go dying on me now. I'll let you take some of my power, but no, I won't do this often." Tail beast level increased, and you saw I went into tail beast mode, which I'll go over in a second. The issue was, I was using commands, and so I set my beast level to something that didn't exist. So that was an issue for obvious reasons. So can't say yourself switching Cherokee that there's no tail beast for. And the other issue was that whenever you do that, a timer starts, kind of like Izanami or Izanagi, where for a certain amount of time, it won't work again. So if I was to get killed again right now, it wouldn't save me. The reason for that being, it's just like that. I thought it'd be fair, so you can't just spam kill yourself to get max in Cherokee level. So it takes like about 1.5 hours in game time before you're able to do it again. I think I'm gonna let the Jin Cherokee send you a message when that happens, just to let you know. But that's why everything went wrong. Promise it wasn't me. Well, it was kind of me because I was testing and I did my timer stuff. But anyways, you activate the beast inside of F. As you can see, in the top left corner, it is draining an ungodly amount of chakra. It drains less chakra the more you level it up, and also while you're in it, you get these red particles. You keep the red particles for the first 3 levels, but if we go slash beast level to level 3, and I know I said for the first 3 levels, the reason I switched it a little bit is because 0 also counts as a level in the code, so that's the reason there. Anyways, you can see it turns white. Now the reason it turns white is because we're using the 0 tails, but if we were to switch it to something like slash set beast to 1, now the particles are sandy colored because we have the Shukaku beast 2, whatever. So you get different colors when you get to the 4th stage for whichever given thing you have. In this case, it's Matatabi, but let's go 9. Let's go Kurama. You can see you get the things for that. And yeah, once you get up to this, these are your stats. I'll go back a little bit to show you what the starter stats are, which is 0. And you get some jump boost, some speed, some glowing. You don't get strength for a little while, I don't think. I think that comes at level 2. Yeah, you get strength. Actually, I think at level 1 you get strength too. So it's pretty overpowered. That's why it takes such strong things. Also, for anyone thinking they could just farm it, like farm scrolls or whatever, I made that pretty impossible. It's not impossible, of course, but the Wandering Trader will only trade you every single one of these things. So the DNA for the 0 tails, the tail beast scroll, and the Gedo statue, it will only trade you that once before not letting you trade anymore. Now that I went over the general thing, which by the way, if we go over here and do, if anyone curious, if you go to 10 tails, you get the white particles. If I set my level correctly, so you get the white particles. So yeah, that's how it works. In the future, of course, each of the 10 tails, or each of the 10-tailed beasts, which is actually 11 with 0, and also maybe 12 with the 11, will have its own moveset, probably its own skill learner, and if not its own skill learner, at least its own special ability. So like, 10 tails will obviously have like Truth Seeking Orb or just something crazy like that. Matatabi will have Fireball. Shukaku will have like Sand Tsunami. 0 tails, I don't really know much about it. My community told me about it, and I looked it up, and it was a real thing, so I just went for it. But everything's going to have its own moveset. So even though it's just a color difference right now, which, just for the record, right now, everything is the exact same except for the color. So you get the exact same amount of buffs with, let's say, 3 tails as you do with 0 tails as you do with 10 tails. That's obviously going to change. 10 tails is obviously going to have much better skill learners when I add the moves for it. 0 is going to have much worse. It's just kind of a given. Now everything between 0 and 10 is going to be equal. I don't want there to be like tail disparity, if that makes sense. Like it's kind of canon that the more tails the better. Very kind of canon though, because for obvious reasons, 9 tails is better than 1 tails. But everything in the middle is kind of a gray area, so it's not really a given for sure. 0 tails, I am going to punish by giving them the worst skill owner. That is only because it is synthetic, and so it is kind of a given that it sucks a little bit more. I feel like that's fair. I don't feel like that's that crazy to say. Yeah, so that's the reasoning for that. Next, we got the Gedo statue. You can see it tells you how many sacrifices you have. Sacrifice the tail beast inside. Now, if we try to do it, we don't have a tail beast activated. So basically, what you're doing is you are giving it whatever Jinchuriki you have inside of you. You are putting in there. The reason I say that is because now I think you're starting to comprehend how hard it is to actually get the 10 tails. Because to get these, you need a Totem of Undying and an Enchanted Golden Apple and a Wandering Trader. So yeah, you need to do that like 9 times. And it does work with 0 tails, by the way. 0 tails is still technically a Jinchuriki. And the reason I went with that is because I guess it has like the same amount of like chakra, and so it acts kind of like a Jinchuriki. So I'm like, to summon the 10 tails, if it's just like a massive amount of chakra, seems like they kind of earned it. You know, I feel like that's kind of fair. But yeah. Anyways, oh, we gotta duplicate this again. So we're going to sacrifice, and now we're at 8, and we will do it one more time. And if you look at the Gedo statue, you see it goes from normal to colored. It gets all enchanted and stuff, and basically when it's enchanted, that means it is already, you have 9 of 9 sacrifices, and you can become the 10 tails. You use it, as you can see, you become the 10 tails Jinchuriki. Now, the reason the beast rejects your call when you ask for their chakra is the same reason it does it when you use the injection or the scroll or whatever. When you do it, it'll reset your tail beast level. So if you had Matatabi for like, I don't know, an ungodly amount of time, and you're at level 4 with that, and then you switch over to Sukaku, and then back to Matatabi, each time you switch, it sets your level back to 0 when it comes to tail beast leveling. So that's the reason for that. I guess the only thing left to go over before something else is the tail beast scrolls, which once again, you get these for 1 enchanted apple and 1 potion of undying. And you can use them, and they give you a random spirit 1 to 9. Obviously will not give you 10, obviously will not give you 0, but 1 through 9, very on the table, and they stack up to 16. So you can get like 16 6 tails, 16 1 tail, all these. The actual tail beast scrolls themselves also stack up to 16. If you're curious what it's like using one, you just pop it and now you're the 4 tails. Yeah, not very exciting. But that's the new Jinchuriki system. And the one last thing is also there's a 1 in 100 chance to be born as one of the Jinchurikis when you spawn in. I haven't actually gone over it since I've been using pre-made worlds, but right now when you spawn in, you can get all the different clans and stuff. There is not all the different clans. Obviously Uzumaki, Namikaze, Kurama, Hoshigaki, Fuma, Jashin, Shadow, Vine, Smoke, Bone, Kitsurugan, Sharingan, Byakugan, and I think that's it right now for what you can actually get for that. So there's a decent amount of clans I haven't finished yet, but the point is, when you spawn in, stuff happens. So you get assigned to a clan. You don't get an element, by the way, in case you guys are curious. When you spawn in right now, you do not get an element because my kind of general idea on this one is when you spawn in, you know if you're a Jinchuriki or not. Don't really have to have that explained to you. You know what clan you're in, so you get the clan learner. Element wise, that's kind of the thing you learn from people in the Narutoverse. So I'm gonna make a teacher NPC that maybe you like do a quest for or something to get your chosen elemental. And that's it. A very small devlog, but it goes over a decent amount of stuff. You know, we got Jinchurikis now, 2 new clans, a 1 in 100 chance to become a Jinchuriki, 0 to 10 Jinchurikis, and some news. So that's all. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I promise to give it good work. I'll see you guys. Bye.